This is your WLAK Daily News Roundup for Lake Air, 107.5 FM and 1260 AM in Amory.
Civic Media News. I'm Terry Bell. Here's what Wisconsin needs to know. More remains found yesterday are thought to belong to a young woman killed in Milwaukee. The Milwaukee County Sheriff's Department says they were found along the shore of Lake Michigan in South Milwaukee. Maxwell Anderson is charged with Sharday Robinson's death. 5 people have either been fired or have quit in connection to the federal investigation into smuggling at the state prison in Waupun. The U.S. Justice Department started looking into the prison after Governor Evers asked for a probe. There's no word if anyone has been charged. Governor Evers will be able to participate in a lawsuit seeking to reverse the Wisconsin Supreme Court's 2-year-old ban on absentee ballot drop boxes. The case could make a big difference in Wisconsin's elections this year. The court's 4 liberal justices granted Evers' motion to intervene Thursday. Republican state lawmakers are suing to reverse one of Governor Evers' partial vetoes in the state budget. Evers struck language in a literacy bill that would have also sent money to private voucher schools. The question is whether it was an appropriations bill. Republicans and Democrats in Wisconsin are motivated by quite different issues. That's according to Marquette University Law School pollster Charles Franklin.
Aside from everybody agreeing that the inflation was important, once you got past that one, every other issue was either a Democratic issue or a Republican issue.
Franklin says Republicans in his latest poll are focused on immigration, while abortion spurs Democrats. Renewable energy projects are getting a boost with tax credits under the Inflation Reduction Act and the Bipartisan Infrastructure Law. Dane County Executive Joe Parisi says there are more opportunities now than ever.
Everybody, a business, a nonprofit, a church, a temple, even a government and a local government gets 30% back on renewable energy projects.
The tax credits could help since polling shows Americans are cautious about making big investments because of inflation. I'm Terry Bell, Civic Media News. Now here's what you need to know closer to home.
For WLAK News, I'm James Kelly. Union members rallied outside the construction site of Eris Apartments in Duluth on Thursday, protesting what they say are unfair wages and benefits for the workers on the housing project. According to a Northern News Now report, the owners of the Duluth Heights neighborhood project hired a subcontractor called Ultimate Drywall to work on the project, which union members allege is underpaying its employees compared to Duluth union standards. Work on the project continued amid the union protest outside the site. Northland College officials have again postponed their self-imposed deadline on deciding whether the school will remain open. Heading into their Thursday deadline, college officials received a new plan that had been approved by the Faculty Council to restructure the school's academic programs and eliminate some in an effort to address their budget issues. The school intended to raise $12 million by this week to stay open, but fell well short and will now consider this proposal and make a final decision on Tuesday. A number of downtown Duluth businesses will be offering special deals in an effort to get residents downtown next week. About 30 businesses are signed up to participate in the city's Get Downtown Week, which will run from Monday through Saturday next week. Some of the deals include buy one, get one offerings, special menu deals at restaurants, a discount at the Great Lakes Aquarium, and retail discounts. A full list of participating businesses and the deals they're offering can be found on the Downtown Duluth website. Superior fire crews responded to the scene of a partial building collapse and natural gas release on Thursday afternoon. According to fire officials, a small portion of the Franklin Court apartments on 37th Avenue East collapsed, severing the gas meter that fed the building. The building and a nearby daycare center were evacuated as crews worked to contain the damage, and nobody was reported injured. Crews started letting residents back into the buildings around 4 p.m., but have not yet found the cause of the collapse. Organizers of Duluth's Memorial Day Parade say they're running short on groups to participate. According to a Northern News Now report, the annual parade typically features things like marching bands, floats, military groups, and even antique cars and motorcycles. But as of this week, only a few groups have actually registered. The parade will travel through West Duluth on Memorial Day, and more information about the event and a way to sign up a group can be found on the Duluth Women of Today website. A well-traveled road in Superior will be out of commission for much of the summer months. The city of Superior has announced they will spend an extra $1 million of COVID-era relief funding on street maintenance this year, including a major repair project on Tower Avenue. The city is using a patching technique on the street that will be a more involved project than just filling potholes, but will also last longer once it's complete. Mayor Jim Payne says Tower Avenue is also due for a full reconstruction around 2028. A blood donation competition is going on in Duluth amid concerns from blood banks of low supply. The Battle of the Badges competition gives Duluth residents the choice to contribute to the first responder organization of their choice, adding a spark of competition to a blood drive that could save lives. It's the first time the Duluth Police Department, Fire Department, and Mayo Clinic Ambulance Service have held the competition, and the winning agency will be announced on Friday. Registration can be done online. Duluth first responders worked with a nonprofit this week to work on improving their school safety responses. According to a Northern News Now report, the I Love You Guys Foundation hosted the event at the Duluth Entertainment Convention Center to review how law enforcement reacts to things as severe as an active shooter event or as trivial as a wild animal walking onto the playground. The event focused on what the standard response to a school event should be, focusing on teaching, strategy, and language. And that's what you need to know. For WLAK News, I'm James Kelly.
Another Badger leaving Wisconsin. Hi, I'm Mike Clemens with sports. Men's college basketball, just hours after we told you that guard A.J. Storr was leaving Wisconsin to play for Kansas, another Badgers basketball player has entered the transfer portal. It's guard Chucky Hepburn. That's 2 starters in 2 days, leaving Coach Greg Gard's program. Marquette introduced their new women's head basketball coach. Kara Consuegra is a former Marquette assistant.
Coaching is my dream. It's something I've always wanted to do. But ultimately, for me, it is a vehicle to help me help young people grow, learn, and prepare them for life. Ultimately, that's what I care about, preparing young people for what is next and for what they can be. Maybe they don't see it today, but what they can be.
NBA, the Bucks host the Pacers Sunday night, game 1 of their playoff series. No new updates on Giannis or Damian Lillard.
I hate to tell you this. I didn't even ask today. I didn't ask about Dame today. Troy comes in and tells me who's practicing. He then wanted to start into the rest. And I said, we can talk about that later. I need to get to the practice plan.
That's head coach Doc Rivers. With sports, I'm Mike Clemens.
With your forecast, I'm Corey Hartman. For today, a few clouds and windy. We'll see a high near 44 degrees and west winds, 15 to 20, gusting to 30 miles per hour. Tonight, still breezy, partly cloudy, lows in the upper 20s. Mostly sunny, a high of 48 on your Saturday, highs into the upper 50s with sun Sunday.
It's 34 at our studios.
That's your WLAK Daily News Roundup from Civic Media. Subscribe to this podcast on Spotify, Apple, or wherever you find your podcasts. Find more news at lakeair.radio.